course, every Wednesday we talk with Amani Toomer, NBC Sports Radio, the 24/7 live sports talk network. You can listen to it at NBCSportsRadio.com as we pass Thanksgiving. Amani, welcome back, pal. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. And I guess as a former player, this is the time of the year where we start the separation. You start to see the haves and have-nots, and I'll open up with that because we saw the Eagles Monday night, and I want to get your thoughts. Are the Eagles regressing, or are we now seeing that they are just simply not that good?
I think they're simply not that good. I mean, I remember playing on the Giants when Coach Coughlin first got there, and we started out the season like gangbusters. We were, one of the best teams in the NFC, and then, what happens is when you have a new head coach, you have more training camp, you have more mini camps, you have more practice time. So in the beginning of the season, you are a little bit further ahead than the rest of the teams. And now, when every team has played 10 football games, they've kind of caught up with you. And I think that's why you're seeing the Philadelphia Eagles starting to struggle. They're starting to regress to the mean, and you're starting to see how good that team really is talent-wise. And people are also understanding what their head coach, their new system is really about, and they're starting to game plan for it.
Yeah, you saw them Monday night against a team that just, can't defend anybody. They had given up, 41, 47. They gave up 38 points a game over 4, and the Eagles only get 13. I guess that really tells you all you need to know about the weapons they have on offense.
They have, I'll just call the receiving core for the Philadelphia Eagles, it's the cutting board hand crew. They can't catch a cold butt naked in Alaska. It's terrible. You watch the drops that they've had. I don't know which receiving core is worse. Not the Cowboys. the Bears or the Eagles. Both of those teams are like allergic to pigskin. They're allergic to footballs in terms of catching it with their hands.
Amani Toomer is with us. I think a lot of Eagles fans might agree with you on that one there. I want to get your thoughts on your former team, the Giants, 8-3. We all expected them after that Bengals win to get to 8-3. They beat the Bears, they beat the Browns. But Steelers, Cowboys, Lions, Eagles, Redskins. Do you see 2 more wins there for Big Blue?
I think they could beat the Eagles again. I think they could beat the Steelers this weekend. Yeah, I think they're going to definitely win 2 more games this year. I think they can beat I think they match up well with the Cowboys. 10 wins, maybe 11 wins. I think that gets them where they need to be. I don't think they're going to be able to get to the division title because I think the Cowboys are and they win a couple more games here. They're going to wrap up the division. So. I think that they have an opportunity. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a team that it seems like everyone is pretty, trepidatious to jump all in on them. People look at that team and they just don't want to buy them. I guess you look at, their 4 points differential there. It just seems that nobody wants to buy the Giants.
Yeah, nobody wants to buy them because you look at, you're just confused. There's nothing that really stands out about them. Their defense is good some weeks. They're not good in other weeks. Like they win. But it's almost like they win in different areas every week, and that just doesn't lend a lot of confidence. You want them to be winning in a certain way every week so you know why this team is good. And, I know that they have a better defense than they've had in the past. I know that, they've cut down on penalties a little bit over the last couple of weeks. Their special teams has been pretty good this year, and their offense hasn't given up the turnovers like they had early on in the season. So those are things that are making them good. But in terms of why, when they match up with better teams, will they be able to win? Who knows?
Hey, can you explain, as a guy who played in this league on Super Bowl teams, good teams that lose a game like Seattle did the other day where they just looked disinterested and they scored 5 points? Who scores 5 points in a game when you're a Super Bowl contender? What happens on that kind of Sunday where you just don't have it?
Yeah, that's it. You just don't have it. And when you look at a young, energetic team that's just coming off a huge win versus the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City, that's a team that's fired up. And when your offensive line doesn't show up and your quarterback gets hit repeatedly throughout the entire game, you lose. And you can't just roll out the footballs and think that you just because you have the Seahawks, logo on your helmet and you know Pete Carroll's out there doing crazy things, nobody cares. You got to go out there and prove it week in and week out. And you know that this team has the pedigree to do that, but you got young teams that are making their name off of you. They're making, like, people are now looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers differently because they beat you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something you got to, you have a target on your back, whether you're the Super Bowl champions or not. You have the Legion of Boom. You guys talk a lot of trash. The way that your team is set up, a lot of teams are going to be targeting for you. A lot of teams have circled your game to make their season, really.
All right, real quick. If New England's the best team in the AFC, who's number 2? Oakland, Kansas City, somebody else. Who's number 2?
I think Kansas City's pretty good. Of course, Tampa Bay, Oakland. Not Tampa Bay. I'd say Oakland and Kansas City, and I think Kansas City's better than Oakland.
Okay. Seattle and
I know they beat them earlier this year.
Yeah, Seattle and Dallas. Who wins that game right now? If there's to play on a neutral site, who do you like?
Dallas.
All right.
Seattle's offensive line is atrocious. They're atrocious.
That's true. Makes the Eagles' inability to get to Russell Wilson even that more ominous. He's Amani Toomer, NBC Sports Radio, here on the Sports Bash, looking inside the NFC East and the NFL as we get deep into the season. Have a good one, pal.
Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.